My name is Orly Ronan. I'm the head of the Urban Sustainability and Innovation Lab at the Porter School, Tel Aviv University, and I will be moderating the webinar. The series is organized by the Israel Climate Coalition as a joint initiative of Chaim and Sviva, Merchav, Shinui Kivun, and the Heschel Center. I would like to open with a quote from one of the directors of the Israeli Meteorological Center, who said that this is not a time for panic yet. This is a time for preparation. And I will add on a personal note that this is a time for changing mindsets. We're living in an ongoing crisis, but unlike COVID-19, the climate crisis is known and expected. We all hope that the extent of the climate crisis will be indeed mitigated. But I believe we're realizing now more and more that this can also be a time for change for the better. This idea of change for the better is the main theme of the series, how to address climate change and also improve well-being. The webinars will focus on cities, since most of the world's population already lives in cities. Certainly in Israel, these should be the places where solutions emerge. We open the series with an international perspective, organized in cooperation with the Embassy of Switzerland in Israel, giving us the opportunity to learn from the successful experience of two Swiss cities, Basel and Geneva. The first session, first of all, let me explain that we have 3 sessions and each session is divided into 2 parts. The first is a monologue where the representative of the Swiss case study will present the case study, and then a dialogue with an Israeli counterpart. So the first session is dedicated to energy and smartness in the city. I'm very happy to invite Mr. Lucas Ott, Director of Urban Development in Basel, and for the dialogue, Eitan Ben-Ami, the Director of the Environmental and Sustainability Authority of Tel Aviv, will join him. So, Lucas?
First of all, let me give you a very short overview of Basel. Basel, known as the small metropolis on the Rhine. Basel lies at the heart of the 3-country triangle where Switzerland, France, and Germany meet. Our city is the fastest developing economic region in Switzerland and a city among the top 10 in the world when it comes to quality of life, if we are to believe rankings. Basel offers residents and visitors a wide range of metropolitan qualities. To put it in a nutshell, life is good in Basel. But like other cities, we are facing challenges such as climate change, demographic change, and its essential goal. But for us, sustainability is above all a methodological challenge. We have to take a 360-degree perspective in order to recognize conflicting goals. We have to approach these target conflicts with all stakeholders in a transparent and networked way. As we will see, smart city fits seamlessly into sustainability, strategically and methodically. It's important to emphasize, as an administration, both need a steering board if we want to take an active role as an administration. In Basel, the steering board is the Office of Cantonal and Urban Development. The Office of Urban Development works mostly on cross-sectional issues such as sustainability, and acts as a link between the different departments in our administration, but also with all other stakeholders from politics, society, business, and science in order to enable integral urban and life development. Now to climate change. Basel pursues a dual strategy: climate change adaptation and mitigation. As a pioneering city in energy policy, Basel uses, for instance, 100% renewable electricity since 2009, has district heating fed from waste incineration plant and wood power plant. The CO2 emissions per person and year in Basel were 3.5 tons in 2018. In 2017, the revised energy law came into force. The most important innovations are the target of 1 ton CO2 per person and year until 2050. In the meantime, there is a political push about net zero until 2050, what is in preparation at the moment. Then maintain 100% renewable electricity, also in the liberalized market. 80% CO2-free district heating until this year, 2020. 90% renewable energy of the total power consumption in a long term. To implement these measures, we have, for instance, an energy structure plan. He shows where in Basel which sort of renewable power supply is suitable. The planning is authority binding. We have in the energy law the obligation of heating replacement. That means that at the end of the lifespan, the heating has to be replaced by a renewable variant. We also have the specification that new buildings do have a power consumption close to zero and do have to produce their own renewable electricity. The climate action plan includes also activities in the field of a sustainable mobility. In Basel, we have, for instance, a parking space management with which we feed the commuter fund. With the commuter fund, we finance park and ride and bike and ride on the edge of town or even in the neighboring canton or country. Climate change is a big challenge worldwide and in Basel as well. Cities worldwide are affected by the heat island effect, Basel too. This is the reason why Basel realized the city climate analysis based on a model. We know for every 10 to 10 meter place in Basel how hot and ventilated it is today and in 2030. The city climate analysis is the base for elaborating a city climate concept, which includes concrete activities to improve the city climate. Basel has a climate adaptation report since 2011, which was actualized now. All offices from different departments that are thematically involved work together and implement measures in the areas of biodiversity, forest, agriculture, streams, groundwater, drinking water, shipping, building and infrastructure, canalization, spatial planning and ventilation and health. The city climate concept is based on the city climate analysis, shows the possibilities to react, is the beginning of a long-term process, and the budget for financing the concrete actions will be requesting during the processing. And it's important that it is based on an integral approach. And now to the Smart City Basel. What does Smart City, or rather Smart City Basel, mean? We need new approaches, innovative ideas, and also we need to connect people. So only so we can create our future together. As a smart city, Basel harnesses the possibilities presented by digitalization to address the challenges mentioned before. Being smart simply means that we use everything at our disposal, including digital technologies and data, to secure the quality of life for the people in Basel, because this is the ultimate aim of being a smart city. To make it short, we want to preserve today's quality of life for future generations.
Thank you very much. And to improve today's quality of life, it's not necessarily the optimum. But on this note, I'd like to invite Eitan Ben-Ami from the city of Tel Aviv, the head of the Environmental Authority, to join us. Eitan?
Welcome. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon.
So let me remind you how this part is going to work. It's a dialogue. It's actually challenging to hold a dialogue discussion in Zoom because you don't really see each other, but we'll have to improvise. So Eitan, why don't you open the floor with a question and also possibly an example from your city, and then Otto will respond and the ball will go back to you.
Have we finished with the slideshow?
Yes, that's no problem. That's no problem. I'm happy to listen to Tel Aviv and to you, Eitan, and your experiences.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you, you're in charge of important areas in the municipality of Basel, putting everybody together to work toward your goals. And I want to ask you, what is the main challenge that you find during your job? Is it within the municipality? Is it has to do with the citizens, or does it have to do with outside elements like the government or organizations?
Yes, I think it's really very important to concrete the collaborations, inclusion and transparency. As I said, it's very important to have a steering board, as we are in the administration. But I think it's important also to have concrete results in public-private partnerships so that we can realize innovation for our future together with science, with the economy, with society. I think this is hard work to do, but I think it's very important to focus on the approach and not only focus on the aim.
That's interesting.
It's the way. It's the method which is in the foreground.
That's interesting. Also here, I think that we decided not to balance our program on approach that we complain that somebody else doesn't do their job, if it's the government or if it's an organization, and to focus first on what can we do better to optimize the potential that we have within the municipality, the professionals that we have here from planning and strategic plan, all the way to the person that actually does the work out there somewhere in the city. And we were able to put everybody together now within an adaptation plan that we just published, that at least we know that we combine the forces within the municipality to do better. And now I think that we have the legitimacy, I would say even, to go to government offices and to say, listen, we did our share, now please do your share. The other thing that we do is we ask also the citizens to be part of what we do, because there are things that it's in the municipality responsibility. We can pave hundreds of kilometers of bicycle roads, but if the citizens are not going to use them, it's not a success. So we have to work with the people to use the bicycle lane and to understand why we're cutting maybe parking lots in order to encourage that. How do you do it with your citizens to encourage them to join your efforts?
Yes, I think we both initiate our own projects and also with our citizens, but also partner up with business, research institute and surrounding communities, and all activities are addressed to the citizens, and all the activities are important for quality of life. But I think that transparency and participation is really very important in our cities, and maybe the smart city can also give a contribution to the participation because of the new possibilities.
That's I find it that we do maybe the same. We just published a call for citizens, for a group of citizens, activists, that ask them to give us ideas, what in their power and in their wish to change the quality of life in the life of climate change and sustainability within their neighborhoods. And we received over 70 ideas. We chose about 20 that vary from different things, from community gardens to recycle to other areas. And we're going to give them a stipend, like about $2,000 maybe to each of the initiatives, and support from different departments in the community or in the municipality in order to push it forward. It doesn't have to be just technology. It can be a variety of things. I want to show, Oli, can I also share a screen?
That's a really good question. I don't know.
Yes, I can.
Okay, there you go.
Yes. I want to share one or two things that we are working on now in matter of technology. This is an idea of, it's a shade that also is a solar panel that can give you light at night. And this just was one of the winner of the Women for Climate C40 program. And one of the Israeli lady that brought it up. So we're going to promote it in Tel Aviv. That's part of what we want to do in the area. Another interesting thing that we just put together is a special technology. So buses can charge themselves, electric buses can charge themselves while driving. So this is the infrastructure. And this is how the roads look after that. So if it works, it can be really a breakthrough because Tel Aviv is not a huge city and a lot of people coming in. We have a lot of commuters and we want to encourage public transportation. This may be one of the things to reduce the pollution and to bring the technology to life. So this is a project that we do together with some innovation company. Are you having areas of like a beta site in Basel?
Now let me firstly say, I think the collective intelligence is a really important resource in our cities, and we have really to use this collective intelligence. But it's also important to have our own projects as you have in Tel Aviv and to test in the field. We also have a few examples which are also similar to your examples. The Department of Transport in Basel, for instance, is testing an intelligent traffic light system, optimizing the system for pedestrians, and the electrification of our public transportation is also well underway, as I could see now. It is in Tel Aviv, and as I said before, the electricity in Basel is 100% renewable. And last but not least, I think that open data is also very important. Open data is the basis for many applications built by private companies, data offered by the administration of Basel for free. And I would like to ask you if you have also an open data strategy in Tel Aviv.
We're trying to have it now. We actually have a system, it's called Banana. It's in the Hebrew, the initials give us actually a computer program to control the electricity, mainly in municipality buildings, schools, community centers, etc. It's in the second phase of the program, and we hope to put it together, and then we will be able to have an open data so we can show which school or which municipality branch is really saving energy, and be able to control even each room and each air condition by itself from a distance. That's something that we work on. We're not yet in your level of, we have a commitment to have 100% renewable energy by 2030 as much as possible. So now we're in a process to, in every public building that we're building now, school or municipality or existing buildings, we're putting a PV panel that we try now. The innovation idea is to have vertical panels. That's something that we're working on. And also in commercial buildings, we found out that the windows in high-rise are maybe protecting the people inside from the heat, but they producing and making the area around them very hot. So now we try in a very modern building that is now being planned, 100 stories high, that all the south side of the building will be with the vertical panels to produce energy and to be able to prevent heat effect around it. The people that are in charge of it are with us, and I hope that we'll be able to do it. What we do have a little different than, or in addition to you, we're trying. This is, it's called Echo Wave. It's making electricity from waves. We have 14 kilometers of beach, and this is a structure that is very easy to put on. You can fold it in case of a big storm, and all the infrastructure is above water, so it's very easy to handle. We have a model of it in the Jaffa Harbor, and hopefully we're going to be able to place it in many other places. So we can count on waves and the sun. We have probably 9 months of sunny days here in Tel Aviv. So it's a waste that we don't use it that much. But we're on our way. Oli is telling me that our time is up in a very basketball way. So again, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to share and to discuss a little bit about what's going on here and in Basel.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I just have seen a question in the chat. Maybe I can short. Yes, quickly. That we have to share innovation with little municipalities. I have the understanding that our cities have the responsibility for innovation. We have the responsibility for innovation hubs with our universities, with the strong economy in our cities. But naturally, we have to share all our innovation with the other communities.
This is a very interesting segue into our next session, but I really have to ask you, I'll give you another 30 seconds. I visited Basel a few years ago, and there was a civic solar center, a center where residents could get information, could get support in order to adopt renewable energy. Is this something that still exists? And is this something that the municipality organizes and supports?
Yes, I think it's important to have a permanent dialogue with the citizens. So we have it still in Basel.
Wonderful.